Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Curtis. I'm very pleased to meet with you and to discuss with you Curtis' performance in the class and future strategies that we can use to improve that performance. Overall, Curtis is doing not bad at all in the class. Right now, the concern is just that his grades are slipping some, and we don't want that to become a recurring factor in the future. So this is just to give out some strategies that I've done, get some feedback from you, and show where Curtis is exactly in the class. Curtis is very friendly, he's outgoing, he's connected with the students, he does excellent with the class discussions. You'll see that in the grade breakdown, and he's a pleasure to have in the class. Some of his challenges with the auditory processing disorder that he has is that sometimes he has more difficulty processing the lectures that I have and accessing the information that is given when he has like a time constraint. So in-class tests, in-class assignments we see in following slides are slipping because we're not as good as the take-home tests and the homework. I gave him a take-home test because the first test that he had in class, the grade was in the 60s range, so I was concerned. So I wanted to see if maybe there was some sort of effect with time, and what the conclusions I had based on the grades that he got from that test were that he was having some challenges keeping to that time constraint because it takes a longer time for him to process the information. So some strategies that we can work through going down. Well, the first strategy that I looked into was just to try and change the way the information is presented. And so in doing so, I was able to present it rather as a graphing calculator online, so that the information is kind of a little bit more flashy, but not in a distracting way, so that he can be able to access that information perhaps better. There's no conclusive evidence yet that this has worked, but I only just started it a week ago, so we need a little bit more time to decipher its effect. He seems to think that it works a little bit better, but we still need to look into that. So another thing that I've been am going to do rather, the first test had no formula sheet, and so he seemed to struggle with processing and accessing the information for the formulas. So if you don't even have the formulas, or it takes you half your time just to get the formulas, obviously that test isn't going to be a very good indicator of where he is in the class. So I think that him and other students will benefit from having a formula sheet, so that he already has that background information and he can access that immediately and not have to spend so much time looking at that instead of solving the problems, which is what we are looking to do. The third strategy that I was looking at was just to create relevance in the class, and I'm trying to do this with all of the students. I asked them what their future plans are. So Curtis, he wants to be a web designer after he completes college. So I have here a link to a graphic design, a link to a site that connects graphic design and algebra. And basically it's just a short video explaining how important certain algebraic equations are to mapping out lines and geometric shapes and web design and graphic design. And so I'm able to then connect the two and create a little bit more enthusiasm, because obviously, for a lot of people, math is something that they struggle with. But if I can connect this to something that they want to do in the future, or something that they're passionate about, then they're much more willing to connect with all of that. And so these are just some of the strategies that I've been looking into. I hope that we can continue this conversation and just have some back and forth here. I want to be always communicating with you both in regards to his future, because we're both connected to his story of success, and we both want him to have a successful story. Thank you very much for your time.